Today we're going to talk about a super common phrase that Americans use all the time. What's up with that? And 7 other ways that you can say the same thing that are also very common. Welcome to English Coach 3Ts. If we haven't met, my name is Tanya. And as usual, I've created a help sheet for you to go along with this video. In this help sheet, you're going to find all the phrases I tell you today, along with tips about when you don't want to use these phrases and other things that they could mean. To get this free help sheet, you can join my free More English Club with Tanya. The link and the information is in the description below. So a few weeks ago, I made a video about why Americans always use or drink iced drinks when a lot of the rest of the world does not. If you'd like to see that video, I'll link it above and put it in the description as well. I was telling you that I used this phrase in that video. What's up with that? And I was telling you about a conversation I had with the women in our She Speaks Fluency program. While we were talking about it, I thought, yeah, that is kind of strange. Why do Americans always use ice when a lot of other countries don't? And so I did a little research. This is the perfect use of this phrase, what's up with that? This is a phrase we use when we want to say, why is that? Or what is going on with that? And we want to have the phrase, what the heck, built in. There's a phrasal verb you've also heard me use before. And if you'd like to know more about that phrasal verb, built in, be sure to watch the video I'll link above, and I'll put that in the description as well. So when do we use this phrase and the 7 phrases I'm going to share with you today? We use this phrase when something is happening and we want to express surprise, confusion, frustration, or that something unexpected has happened. We do that when we say, what the heck? Or the stronger phrase, what the bleep? But with this phrase, what's up with that? We don't need to use the phrase, what the heck, or what the bleep. Instead, it's built in. It's already a part of the phrase, what's up with that? Now, notice, like a lot of things that you're learning in English, and I'm sure this happens in your native language and other languages, a lot of the communication is in the facial expression, the tone of the voice. And so what's up with that doesn't really mean the same as what's up with that. All right, let's talk about some other phrases that mean the same thing, and they might be a little stronger or not as strong. You might use them in different ways, and I'll give you some examples of times when you would use these phrases. A very similar phrase is, what's the situation with that? Now, depending on your personality, your age, where you live, you may use this phrase more or less than the other ones. All of them are like that. But let me give you an example. Let's say you're at work and you're working on a project with somebody else, and you come in and the project's been completely changed. And you want to know why. What happened? You could go to your coworker and say, what's the situation with that? In other words, you might be a little annoyed. Again, maybe you're frustrated or you're confused why this happened, or you're surprised that it happened. Again, it might be unexpected that it happened. But instead of saying all of that, you can say it all with the phrase, what's up with that situation? And your coworker is going to know what you mean. Now, this next phrase really relies on the tone and the facial expression. And the phrase is, what's going on there? Again, it's very similar to these others. Let's say you're at work again and you hear something outside the window and you want to know what it is, and your coworkers have all run to the window to see that, but you're busy working and you can't get over there and you want to know what's going on. You could say, "What's going on there?" Now, this phrase is pretty common. What's going on there? But notice the change in my voice. When we use this sentence with the tone, "What's going on there?" it has that "what the heck is going on" built into it. And here's another one. What's going on with that? An example could be that you have a group of friends and one of your friends is never answering your text messages. You're talking to another friend and they're looking at their phone and texting with the friend who never answers your text messages. And your friend is like, "Oh yeah, I'm texting with so-and-so." And you're like, "What's going on with that?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" She's confused why you're using that phrase and that tone that means, "What the heck?" Because to her, it's just normal to text with this person. You could say, "She stopped returning my texts like 2 weeks ago." And your friend might say, "Yeah, what's going on with that?" In other words, neither one of you really know what's going on with that, but you know there's something that is unexplained. That's probably not so cool. Let me tell you the fourth sentence and something about all of these sentences. The fourth sentence is, "What's the deal with that?" If you're at work and they have a new rule about how you're going to sign in, or we say clock in to work to show the company that you've started, and when you are going to end, you clock in to work, and suddenly they've changed the rule on how you do it. You might be getting ready to go and clock in and it's completely different, and you say to your coworker, "They changed the rule? What's the deal with that?" In other words, it worked fine before. Are they like not trusting us? You're frustrated, maybe confused. A lot of these sentences or questions can be interchanged. In other words, you could say, "What's the deal with that?" But you could also say, "What's up with that?" or "What's going on with that?" A lot of them can be changed with each other. And here's another one. What's that all about? You're having a party and suddenly you find out that one of your best friends isn't coming. You're sitting there reading the text, and you might not even have anybody else to talk to, or maybe you do. Either way, as you're reading the text and you're super surprised that one of your best friends is not coming to your party and doesn't tell you why, and you might say, "What's that all about?" Again, meaning the same thing. I still have 2 more ways that you can say this, but I want to remind you that you can get the list of all of these phrases with more tips from me by joining my free English club at the link below. So let's take a look at the 6th one. Let's say suddenly your boss says you have to come into work an hour early every day. You're feeling pretty frustrated about that. And later you ask your coworker about it and they say to you, "Yeah, what's the story with that?" Again, they're like, "What happened? Why is this happening?" And then the 7th one, what gives? With this 7th one, it's similar to all of the rest. But another example is maybe you go to your favorite restaurant, you've invited a couple of your friends, and you're all excited about having this dinner at this restaurant. And when you get there, you find out that they've changed their hours and they're not open. One of your friends could say, "What gives?" In other words, what happened? Why did they change their hours? This was such a great restaurant. I wish they were open. Like I said before, Most of these phrases can be used with all of the examples I gave here. But there are some times you don't want to use the phrase, and there are some ways that they can be used that mean something different. If you'd like to know what those things are, be sure to sign up for my free English club, and I'll send you the help sheet so that you can learn more. And if you're ready to watch another video to improve your fluency, check out the story about why Americans are always using ice in their drinks at this link here. What's up with that?